Hi everyone, how's it going? This is immigration attorney Moumita. So happy to see everyone here today. I'm just doing a quick live before I go back to work on my lunch break. But I thought I'd come out here and I'd say this. I get so many consultations on people who have filed for their green card application with their spouse who happens to be a US citizen, and they're having problems now. Now their spouse is basically saying you need to leave, or maybe they're threatening them and accusing them of perhaps using them just for the green card, which is not the truth. Marriages have their own issues. But what I see a lot is if you have started the green card process with your spouse, one of the common threats that might come out of their mouths, especially when things are not going well, is that I'm not going to go through the interview. I'm going to call immigration. I'm going to get you deported. I'm going to get you in trouble. And this is not fair. This is not something that you deserve. And as an immigrant, you do not deserve to be treated that way. Yes, it is true that you are going to be reliant on your spouse to help you get your papers fixed. However, that does not give your spouse the right to threaten you with your immigration process. It does not give them the right to threaten to withdraw their papers because they're unhappy with you, okay? So what you need to do is, if you are having problems with your spouse, you've already filed your application for a green card, you have an interview coming up, even if your interview is tomorrow and your spouse is saying, I'm not going to go with you, you need to call us. Call us today, 212-248-7907, because what we can do is we can try to save your green card application so it does not get denied, and we can try to see if you qualify for a self-petition and take over that case. That way you do not lose your right to get to continue using your work permit, to continue to travel outside the U.S., and you don't have the threat of possibly being put into deportation. All right, so give us a call today, 212-248-7907. My assistants, Josue, Abel, Anderson, they're all standing by to take your call and book you for an appointment today, okay? Not today, but whenever I have next free on my calendar. Okay, so that's my main thing today. So I have a question from Beja Fry, who's saying, hi, my I-485 was rejected due to improper filing. My priority date is not current, now it's changed. Beja Fry, I'm so sorry to hear that. What can you do next? Well, if your case was improperly rejected by USCIS, where they're saying that you're missing something, or that it was not current at that time, if the reason for the rejection is improper on their end, you can try to fight it. You can try to say, no, look, this needs to go back in. This is what was wrong. This is the government's error. And maybe you'll be able to basically get it back in on the priority date. But if it's something that was your fault, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult. You can give us a call, 212-248-7907. We can see what is possible for you to do. I have a question from Rahman Ahmed, who's asking, I applied an I-360 almost 20 months ago, and I don't get any updates. My question is, how long does it take to approve? Please let me know. So Abdur Ahmed, thank you so much for your question. So if you are filing an I-360, normally these cases, the I-360 alone will usually take about 1.5 to 2 years. So 20 months is actually not uncommon, especially if they give you a request for evidence and they want to see that you demonstrate that you're eligible for it. Now, Abdur Ahmed, if you have received a request for evidence, please make sure to reply to it on time. If you need help with it, give us a call, 212-248-7907. Let's see. Okay, Jawed Gafar is asking, my kids have a green card. Can they file for me? So here's the thing. If you have children that are here in the US and you need your green card, right? If your child only has a green card, they cannot petition for you. They need to be a US citizen at least 21 years old, all right? So if you have a US citizen child who's at least 21, then they can help you file for a green card. However, it's going to depend also on your manner of entry and any other issues that you might have. So if you enter the US with a visa or with inspection into the US, then you would probably qualify to do adjustment of status, which is the process here for a green card. Otherwise, you may need to look at other options to see if you qualify for getting your green card here without having to leave. And you can give me a call if that is your case. If you do not have a legal entry, I will look to see if you qualify for any of the various case types that allow you to get a green card without having to leave the US. And believe it or not, there are actually many different ways that you might be eligible to get your green card status fixed in the US without having to leave. All right, 212-248-7907. I have a question from Anim Al-Smadi who's asking, I want to ask you if my U.S. citizen brother can help me adjust my status. And the answer to that is, if you are looking to get your green card through a brother or a sister who is a U.S. citizen and you are inside the U.S., the answer is probably no, because first of all, the wait time for siblings is usually about 10, 15 years just to be eligible to get to have a visa number for the green card. Second of all, if you're already in the US and you're looking to adjust your status to get a green card from a sibling, you need to be in a valid legal status pretty much the whole time. You cannot have a lapse, and you also have to be eligible and in a lawful state once your visa number becomes available if you're doing it through your brother or sister. If you're outside the US, that's a different story. But if you're inside the US, then it is usually pretty hard, because it's very hard to have a temporary legal status in the US for 15 years, all right? I hope that helps. Let's see what else I have. And thank you. Please give me a follow. Please like my videos. Please share them. All right. And thank you for sharing my live. I just saw somebody, Stalker Boy just shared my live. Thank you. All right. So yeah, so that's it. Let's see what other questions I have. So I have somebody from Unnatural Selection. I'm a Pakistani Canadian born citizen, would like to move to the US on work base. I'm in the US. I'm in the process of finishing my MBA. Can you recommend an expedited process? So for those of you who want to consult with me, who are not in the US and you're like, how do I get to the US? How do I get a work permit? How do I get a green card? Here's the thing. If you are looking to come to the US, there are really 3 basic ways of having status in the US. And the first category is through family. The second category is through some sort of work-related option. And the third is through a humanitarian option, which usually you need to have already been in the US to qualify for that. Now, if you don't have family to help bring you here to the US, and by family, I mean mother, father, brother, sister, or a child to help bring you here, then you need to fall back on the employment or work-based categories. You know, there's a whole bunch of visas. They range from immigrant visas to non-immigrant visas, H-1B, O-1, R-1. There's so many different types. So it's very hard to say what you might qualify for, but typically you need to have somebody who's already inside the US, usually an employer, sponsor you for it. You are not usually eligible to petition for yourself to just come here. So if you want to come to the US and you want to work and you want to find out, how you qualify, well, if you don't even have an employer or a job that's lined up for you, then you're not really, you're probably going to have a very hard time. So I would recommend that you try to get a job first in the US and see if that employer is going to be able to petition for you. And also, then you have to look to see if you qualify for the type of visa that they might want to sponsor you for. Okay. All right. So everyone, that's all the time that I have for today. Thank you so much for joining. I'll be back on again. So please stay tuned and have a great day.